discussed, we have here. It is directly from Palo Alto, so you can have good idea about it. So it is very basic steps, very basic steps. We have already. If you yeah, this is what if you want to configure different admin than admin, you can also change it. You add it from here,
Okay.
right? You just need to go to device setup, leave setup. You have to go to administrator. Then from there you can change your admin user ID and password.
Okay.
And everything we have discussed here. We also need to discuss the management only right now. We have discussed this, right? Static ping, HTTPS, right? You seen that, right?
Uh, I don't think so. What's
Let
the
me show you.
management interface setting? Okay.
See, we have discussed this, right? Management interface configuration, static IP.
Okay.
This is what we have discussed, right? This is the same thing. So this is the same thing. Static DSCP configuration HTTP SSH is enabled. We need to check it if it is enabled or not. It should be enabled by default in the firewall. We need to enable ping as well. We need to enable ping as well. We have discussed in the last session. If you want to permit it few IPs to connect your lane, then you need to add it here. Permitted IPs.
Okay.
Right? Except these IP, nobody will be able to access. Very good. And we also, this is from directly from just from the basics tools, basic configuration. It is directly from Palo Alto websites. And then it is a configured DNS we will just discuss in upcoming sessions. Upcoming selection. Let me just share that too. So if you want to reset your firewall, this is very basic. Just to reset your firewall, you just need to have this command. Reset factory default. If you have
So,
configured something.
so this is will make it go back to how it was the first time you,
Yep.
like
First time if you have configured.
including the user ID will go back to admin,
Yes,
the
correct,
IP
correct, correct,
address, everything. Okay.
correct, correct. So if you have configured something wrongly or everything has been misplaced or IPs has been misconfigured, so you can go back to your default configuration. You
Okay.
just need to remember this command,
When do
right?
you use? Have you ever used it? When is it good to use?
Yes. Actually, I was yesterday. Last time I had a session with a guy from US. He was learning or studying in US, but he was from Indian region. So he configured. Why the curiosity? He configured the firewall. That was a lot of configuration he has done. Basically, management interfaces, net security policies.
Thank you.
So yeah, I had to remove that all. So it was difficult. It was being difficult for me to remove each and everything one by one. So I used it. I did not use it in production environment, let me tell you frankly. And when I was decommissioning the firewall in the production environment, it was no use because you are not going to decommission like this. You are going to remove everything in production environment. You need to remove everything one by one. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. So if you want to, uh, then firewall will boot up after this. Then you will have this option main, and then you can choose the option. It will after command main. It will give you a few options: reboot, factory reset, start configuration, management configuration, some other settings. You just need to select factory reset. It will end up that. So let me open the firewall for you. This is open. It should be open right now. You can see, right?
Yeah.
So you can see my DSCP new IP,
Yes.
and You can see the
Yeah, okay.
mask.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll enter admin,
Mm-hmm.
admin. It is logged in, right?
Yes. Because
I
you did not change that, right? You didn't
Yeah,
change it.
because it is VM. I just started.
Oh, okay.
I did not
Okay.
change anything yet. It is VM.
Mm-hmm.
So by default, it is taking from DSCP from the beginning. I'll change
Mm-hmm.
it later, right? It is just a
Okay.
beginning. So install the VMware from Google. Download the VMware in Google and install it in my system. I download the VM Firewall 9.0 from Google, install in the VMware, and then this is what we have. Nothing I did. It. Also, I have configured, let me tell you, sorry, uh, Windows R and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
CPA.cpl. I configured few. It is just your system configuration. I have configured these two VMs. This is for not for write access. This is for your interfaces, which is web physical interfaces for your firewall. It will be
Mm-hmm.
LAN, it will be WAN, something like that, right? So you will be configuring LAN, DMG, WAN. It will be something like that. It is already there. I only created these two so that I can provide an interface connection to my VMware. VMnet 1,
Mm-hmm.
so I will have different IP for the same, and I will have different IP for the same. I will add some machines here in the virtual machine. I'll add different machines, new machines as a Windows 10 or Windows Linux machine, any of the machine I'll create, and then I'll add it here, and I'll provide this interface IP there, this IP there.
Mm-hmm.
This interface I'll provide to the machine, VMnet 1 to the new machine, VMnet 2 to the new machine. I'll
Mm-hmm.
keep it DSCP or I'll keep it static. Any any of the configuration we can add. All right. So we have this. If you want to check it is working properly, you can
Mm-hmm.
you can see
Mm-hmm.
show interface all. I'll have to see this interface, right? So let me just go back and I'll have to show this management IP to the GUI. So I know the management IP, which is basically known because this is VM, so that you cannot directly go to a browser and enter 192.168.1.1 because it is VM. And VM we need to have separate IP from DSCP. So we know the IP now, and I'll go use this IP to log into the firewall. One ninety two, 168, 19.1. It's a gateway 19.128. See, see, not secure. You will get this page. You need to just proceed. Once you will install certificates and everything, configurations will be there. It will not be this. Admin, admin. So this will be coming up every time because we are not changing password and ID. See, it will keep on popping up until or unless you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it will keep on popping up until or unless you will not
Mm-hmm.
change the password. You can
Mm-hmm.
just click on OK. You want OK with the password and ID. I'll share on the WhatsApp about the VMware version and VM version for Palo Alto Firewall so that you can have 30 days of free licenses. or we can do just one thing. I can just give you overview from my lab, and then we can check
Yeah.
your production.
Yeah, because I really, to be honest with you, I hate the lab stuff because it just, I find it to be very confusing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true when it comes to adding networks and everything from the physical device to the virtual machine, and the virtual machine to the devices which is there in the virtual machine.
I mean, I tried it. I'm sure by now it expired because it's been like what, 2, 3 months ago, maybe even even more than that. I think it's even more than that. Anyways, so I'm
Mhm.
sure everything expired. But like I wasted a lot of time. I was so frustrated because
Mhm.
nothing worked. So I was like, okay, forget it.
Uh, it happens in the beginning. No issues. I'll
Mm,
help if you wish. Otherwise, we are okay. I do have lab. I'll
okay,
keep you
okay,
showing, and
okay,
then we can check your production boxes to further
okay.
information, right?
Yes, that's gonna be better for me.
So now
Okay.
you have this dashboard in front of you. You will have almost every information. In general information, you can have device and name. This is
Mm-hmm.
PAVM. You can change it, right? You can change it. I'll let you know where we can change it.
Mm-hmm.
We can change the device name. We can change the device IP. You can see, right? Management IP is DSCP. So it
Mm-hmm.
is getting coming. The system is getting this IP from virtual machine, which is
Mm-hmm.
configured as DSCP.
Mm-hmm.
Mask, you can see default gateway, you can see management that is which is not configured.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see MAC address. If you sometimes the production requirement is that they want to know the MAC address of the management, you can simply check it from there. And sometimes new beginners or maybe expert also have some confusion where we can check the management interface. So they keep on checking on CLI and everywhere. So that is somewhere in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah. There is no serial number because it is not physical device. CPU
Mm-hmm.
ID is there.
Yeah.
You can check VM licenses, no VM licenses because this is not the free one, free
Mm-hmm.
30 days free one. So you can see the software version, which is important to see every time when you go to upgrade the devices. This is
Mm-hmm.
9.0.0. Agent is not installed, nothing is there related to Global Protect. Everything is there, right? You can check uptime also, which is important to see in production. This is
Mm-hmm.
45 seconds. Sorry, 45 minutes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
45 seconds it is, I guess. Yeah, 1 hour, minutes, 0 days, hour, minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes it says. Let's check what is the issue. So I think it is up since last 45 minutes. I open it before the session, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then this is our major tabs. Dashboard, ACC, monitor policies, objects, network devices. So you might have a lot of questions in the beginning also. I mean, while you're going to the interview. So dashboard is something where we can have everything in places except the
Mm-hmm.
logs. You can have every related information in general. You can also add widgets from there. You can, if you want to add applications, stop applications. So no application installed, right? No data found. If you want to see high risk applications, you want to add it here. No risk, high risk, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you want to add some system configuration interfaces, if you want to see how interfaces configured, yeah, so you can see. Sorry, I configured one or two. It is
Mm-hmm.
showing here, right? One or two interfaces configured. And high availability you want to see, you not enabled.
Mm-hmm.
Logs also you can see directly from here. Threat logs, URL filtering logs, system logs. So we can see no logs, nothing is visible, nothing is configured. You can see threat logs also zero. So you can take it from, you can uh, modify the gadgets, you can cancel configuration logs, you can logs also you can cancel, and you can all put it here.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest to keep this top high risk application in dashboard so that you can have an idea which application is taking what.
Mm-hmm.
And majorly we will be checking system logs here. I can see I just logged in 909. I can see, you can see my system timing. It is taking from there, and the server is this. I logged in using admin, using HTTP user admin, logged in by web, authentication admin from this gateway. This is my router gateway. We are given to the virtual machine. This is management CPU. Sometimes you might have issues to see that it is full or something. Then we need to, if you want to troubleshoot, you need to remove some application which is uh, occupying a lot of spaces. You need to check where it is. So data plane CPU, it is data, it is management. This is related to management plane CPU, and this is related to, you can also have memory option over here. So we are good till now, right? Login
Yes.
admins. So I'm the login admin. Using CLI also I logged in. You can see, right? You are using CLI also I logged in. Using admin. Using BAV also I logged in. So this is idle. I am not using CLI since last 5 minutes, right? I'm using BAV. It is not showing idle because I have been using it continuously without any issue. Keep on clicking somewhere. So we are good in dashboard, right? So we will discuss it later. Let me just show you management only. Device setup.
Okay.
We discussed that in the
Management. Yeah.
slides. Management, operation, service, interfaces. So management, we have a lot of things, right? I told you we have management general settings. So we are configuring general setting of management. I can change it host name. I can change domain. I showed you in the dashboard, right? I can change it from here, everything related to
Yes.
general settings. So just keep it close. You can change the panorama. If you want to add panorama, you can add it from here. You can enter the IP of panoramas. Then you can enter it. You can enable panorama from here. You can see disable panorama policy and object, disable of this. But we are not going to disable. We are not going to add panorama right now. So we can just keep it quiet, right? We'll keep on checking everything later. You can just need to have a basic idea, right? We have done this. If you want to configure general setting, you want to configure HA. HA will discuss later. This is all related to importing apps, porting configuration, saving configuration, services. Services I'll discuss right now today's session. Interfaces I'm talking about management interface. I'll go to management interfaces. See, this is DSCP client, right? So in DSCP client, you have to enter such, you have to have such information. This is DSCP client running information. IP address or management IP address, interface name, management IP address, this gateway, this lease time just started. I just leased this IP address from DSCP. So this is for 30 minutes. Expiry time also showing here. DSCP server. We have not configured domain DNCP server yet, so DNS server yet, so it will not be visible. I'll show you where we can configure this. So user ID, if you want to enable user ID also, you can enable it from here. If you want to allow communication to your monitoring tool, you can also enable this to the management. Then we are not going to do anything such. If you want to add IPs, permitted IPs, you can add it here. Suppose you want to add some IPs related to management. In 192 is allowed, you want to allow 10.1.1.1 slash 32. So it will be allowed. Okay. So this IP also will be allowed. If this IP is there in the network, it will be allowed. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good till here.
Yes.
So services, now we will understand services which is related to the management. By default, management is the one who is managing all the services by default. All the services, it means DNS and TCP. We will be configuring from here. Update server. This is the server which will be updating every time from the Palo Alto networks. Okay. No need to configure proxy. We can configure DNS. Okay. Google DNS I'm configuring. Backup of that. So a proxy object you can also configure. We are not going to configure anything such verify anti-servers. So this will not work until unless you are not configuring DNS. What? Got it? Sorry.
No, I'm
Didn't
good.
get it. And our NTP also has to be configured, otherwise nothing will work. Your system will not take time
Mm-hmm.
server will not work. So you can
Mm-hmm.
configure the IP address of the NTP server provided by your organization. You
Mm-hmm.
can server address, name,
Mm-hmm.
authentication type, and symmetric auto key. So you can configure such authentication keys according to your convenience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not configuring right now. I'll do it later when we discuss everything. So services are done.
Okay.
NTP is done. I'm not configuring just because I'll also download the 30 days free one and then we'll configure everything. So we'll have a lot of licenses. We can see the logs also in this firewall. We cannot see the logs because we do not have licenses.
Oh, so you even for the trial one, you get a trial license, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we are good with interfaces, we are good with management, we are good with services. Now we are checking. By default, service route, we have configured management only. But sometimes we don't want to allow to connect internet and network services to your management. We can customize that. We are not allowing management because these are configured in management, right? You can see my mouse hovering.
Mm-hmm.
Right? These are configured in management only, but we don't want to allow these services managed by the management interface because it is sometimes risky to that the internet network services are there with the management. So you can customize. We can add NTP from there. We can add DNS also. See
So
everything.
this is under services. So you said we shouldn't which way is better to do it from services or through from the
Service route is better because we have an
uh,
option to
uh,
select the interface. If we are
uh,
creating a separate interface for the services for the networking, so we can have a separate interface. We are not going to allow management to communicate with all the services, right? It will we will not allow. Otherwise, there is some issues with the update of Palo Alto network. It will
mm,
also hamper you to
mm,
not to communicate with the firewall. If there is some
mm.
issues with NTP, there is some issue with Palo Alto, this DNS, there is some issue with DNS, then it will also hamper our management interface.
So
We will not be able to.
it's better to do it that first way that you showed me.
Yeah,
Through okay, okay.
so we can use customize NTP from here. We can configure NTP from here. We can directly use interface. Suppose I'm using this interface, so it will automatically take the IP.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using this interface. This is not a management interface. I'm using this interface for configuring NTP, for configuring every services we can provide different interfaces,
Mm-hmm.
right? EDLs, we'll relearning this. Panoramas also, if you want to configure panorama not through management, you can have this.
Mm-hmm.
You can you can also use default, which is management again. So we are not
Mm-hmm.
going to do it. We are going to specify interface IP. So interface one, it will pop up automatically, right?
Okay, okay.
We are good till now, right?
Yeah,
So hope we are good, and we will check tomorrow from. I mean, tomorrow is Sunday for you also, right?
it's Saturday.
So ready for you?
Tomorrow? Oh, sorry. Like so when you say tomorrow, like this time for you will be
Yeah, this time.
this time because now it's your Saturday morning, right?
Yep.
Okay. It will be my Saturday evening, your tomorrow. Because
Okay.
today is my Friday evening.
Okay, so you are good to take the session. I'm okay. I don't have issues. So we
Yeah,
can
I'm okay.
have uh, off on Monday, right? I mean, according to my time.